Hey everybody, it's Cameron with the Atlas Strength Shop, back with another video. Today we're going to go over a piece of equipment that you're not going to find at just any gym. You're pretty much only going to see them at gyms that cater towards strongmen. That is the Mammoth Bar from Arsenal Athletics. But before we get to that, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. Let's get to it. So this is the Mammoth Deadlift Bar from Arsenal Athletics. It is a copy of the Rogue Elephant Bar, almost exactly, but is able to be mass produced and sold to the public. Like I said, you're not going to see these in a lot of gyms. You're pretty much only going to see them at places that cater to strongmen. And that is because you see these a lot now in strongman competitions. In fact, this one was purchased by one of our members, Colt Swanson, last year because they had a max Mammoth Bar deadlift at USS Nationals. He wanted to do very well in that event. It's also going to be appearing at an event that we are going to this upcoming weekend in New Orleans called Battle on the Bayou. It's going to be another max deadlift. That one's going to be rising bar. I know one of our guys, really all of our guys, are hoping to get somewhere in the fives with that one. So a little bit about this bar. It's 10 feet long, which for comparison, I have a Texas Power Bar sitting right here in front of it. The Texas Power Bar is 7 feet long. So you can see the difference just by looking at the two bars, just how massive this thing is. And because of that, you get a hell of a lot of whip with this bar. A couple things that you can't really see from a video is, unlike a deadlift bar, it has a 29 millimeter diameter for the shaft. And they do that because I'd imagine if it had the same diameter, which is generally about 28 for most deadlift bars, this thing would probably bend and never recover. So they did have to make it a little bit thicker, but with the length of this thing, you're gonna get a hell of a lot of whip. Another notable difference is the sleeve length. Traditionally, deadlift bars have around 15 and a half loadable sleeve length. This one has 22 and a half. I just measured it. And because of that, you can get a lot more weight on this. Now, obviously, the world record for the deadlift was broken on an Ohio deadlift bar. So do you need that much space? Not necessarily, but in strongman, they like to make things a show. So that means that you can put a lot of 45-pound bumpers on this, make the weight look huge, and because the weight is so far away from the center point, you're gonna get a hell of a lot of flex on this thing. Like, it's practically going to be at a 13-inch mark by the time it breaks off the ground. I'm gonna show you that in some of the videos that we've accumulated later. As for the knurling is extremely aggressive. It's way more aggressive than this Texas Power Bar that's right here, which a lot of people are very familiar with that knurling. I'd say it's even more aggressive than the Ohio Power Bar and the Texas Power Bar that we have here. So the couple things that kind of concern me about it is, you really notice it when you got some weight on here, but there's a little bit of play in the bushings. Now, I'm told that's not a manufacturer's defect, that it's designed that way, but it's something that we all just kind of shook our head at a little bit. All in all, this bar's fantastic. Do most people need it? No, definitely not. You can get by just fine on a power bar or a deadlift bar if your sport allows deadlift bars. However, is it a hell of a lot fun to have? Yes, and it's gonna come in handy if you're gonna compete in a show that has this. That being said, makes a lot more sense for gyms to have this bar because this bar is $850 before shipping. This is an expensive ass bar, but it's niche, it's very well made, and yeah, we have no complaints over it at all. So yeah, let's take a look at some video of some of the guys here pulling heavy weight on it.
First up, we have Matthew Cavalier. This was his first pull more than 500 pounds in years. This was a huge mental milestone for him. He's going to do very well next weekend. Next up, we have Andrew pulling the same weight.
Unreal.
Very easy for him. And then we have me twerking this shit up. I just wanted to really show you all the flex on the bar on that. Mark Levin's pulling it. Look at that whip. Then we have Reed. This is Mr. Ernie. He's in his 70s, but even with 3 plates, you can see a little bit of whip on that bar. And finally, we have Colt. This is 900 pounds. And that bar is making a frowny face.
So that's it for the video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, it really helps us out a lot. If you're in the Baton Rouge area and you'd like to come and join this community, shoot me a message on Instagram. We'll set up a time. You come see us. We'll make that happen. If you're not in the Baton Rouge area and you still like to support us, best ways to do that are to either go to the website and check out our apparel options or check out our programming options. Until next time, keep that tight and